and welcome to the there's no A. Where's the A?
There's no
There's
A.
not three of us.
It's an Ope two-way.
Oh, Lord. Oh, well. Hey, we're going to figure it out, though, right? I mean, we're here. It's episode 59, right? Me, Brandon, you, Pierce.
Yeah,
Just open.
Unfortunately, no Donny. Donny had some work obligations they had to take care of. We miss you, Don. We'll see you soon.
Donny, come home. I miss you already.
Well, you got me, so you're gonna
That's
have to deal
true.
with it.
That's true. And my good, our good friends here at the Ope Brewing Company out of Dirty Stalis. They
Not
make them a great.
But we would like a sponsor.
Yeah, hey, I'll plug them. They make a great Hefeweizenheimer. That's what it says on the can. So
Hefeweizens are good beer, but I'm doing good, man. How are you doing today?
I am doing very, very all right. You know, it's been a busy day, busy work schedule. You know, gotta make sure that everyone's got what they need for the school year and everything like that. Working in like less, how shall we say, like privileged neighborhoods and stuff like that. There's always a lot of need, and you try and meet people where you can. But I mean, it's busy work, but it's good work. But and I am stoked because this is the time of week where we get together, brother it about, talk wrestling. We got some wrestling to talk about today, right?
We got a little bit of grabs to talk about. AEW Wrestledream happened over the weekend. Oof. It was a show.
That's what I hear.
We'll get into it. I can tell you right now, Donnie was not a fan. He called it possibly the worst AEW show ever. So take that with a grain of salt. I caught the highlights. I did not get to watch it. I was too busy playing the new Pokemon Legends ZA and having a grand time. 6 shiny so far. So we're doing good.
All right.
But if you're interested in who we are and where we're at, you can find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok at Ope-Eh 3-Way. On X, Instagram, and Facebook, I believe it's at Ope_A3_way. And then you can see the new episodes usually every week on Spotify and YouTube.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, we don't get a soundboard today. That's at our other platform, but on this day.
Well done.
I can't do it as well as, Alter Bridge, but we're going to jump back to the year 2000. WWF No Mercy. Los Conquistadores, a.k.a. Edge and Christian, defeat the Hardy Boys for the tag titles. And in the main event, Kurt Angle would defeat The Rock for his first ever WWF championship, capping off his incredible rookie year that he had.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Kurt easily set the standard for rookie years in WWE. Maybe, I was going to say Sheamus too, but Shamo had a little bit of different. Kurt Angle is an American hero. I'll just say that about him.
I would say it's probably Kurt, it's Ric Flair, and it's AJ Styles, and those are the three.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty solid.
Because Kurt, it took him a year to win that. Ric Flair is going to win it. That was inevitable. And then AJ, I don't think anybody ever expected him to get to the WWE Championship, and then 6 months in, he got it. So,
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It was a weird spot. Like, it's a guy coming over from TNA, and well, I guess technically New Japan, but definitely the TNA guy, right? It's like Goldberg coming over, or Sting, or anything like that. And given the fact that WWE had a track record of treating boys from the other camp, not quite so well. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. We went from Y2 AJ to WWE champion, had over a year long reign in there. I don't think it was the first one, but it's probably
it was his second title reign. He won about
that's what I thought
days or so.
Yeah, very impressive.
But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about 2017 WWE TLC, a super infamous TLC card, because hours before the show, a couple of the main matches got shuffled around because of an illness. It was supposed to be the Shield's reunion match against The Miz, Braun Strowman, Kane, and The Bar. And Roman became sick and couldn't compete, So instead, it was Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose in Shield gear, and Kurt Angle's first WWE match since 2006.
Tying it all back around.
And I mean, it was a match. It was wild. It was funny. And just seeing Kurt Angle in Shield gear is ingrained in my brain.
He was so happy to be there. He's just doing his thing with the arms. Yeah.
Kurt, damn near. And
yeah.
In the best match of the night, Demon Finn Balor was supposed to face Bray Wyatt, who was going to be Sister Abigail, which would have been, and no disrespect to Bray Wyatt, rest in peace, and no disrespect to Finn, it would have been shit, like 100% shit.
I think that's accurate.
Instead,
yes.
They pulled AJ Styles from SmackDown, and they had a legitimate dream match, and it exceeded expectations. And then Finn lost to Kane clean like the next day. Because Vince.
Yeah, that's about as much as you can say about it, really.
And then like 2 weeks later, AJ won the WWE Championship. It was the opposite of what should have happened. Well, AJ probably still should have beat Jinder, but Finn was competing for the Universal title at that point. He did get a shot at the 2018 Rumble, but it's a little odd that instead they just straight up buried him, and a legitimate burial, unlike what happened to Gunther.
Right. I mean, yes. No.
Yeah. Gunther was not buried. That's
my feelings have kind of flexed towards that particular situation. Now that it's kind of had some time to stew, shall we say?
All I'll say is this: you don't become world champion in 2 months if you're buried.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we'll jump ahead 1 year. Raw starts on a very somber note as Roman Reigns comes out to the ring and announces that he's a guy named Joe, and for 11 years he was battling leukemia, and unfortunately at that time it was back, and he had to relinquish the Universal title. We're glad you're doing okay, Roman, and keep fighting forever.
I mean, that's the chant.
In the main event, Ambrose and Rollins would win the Raw tag titles from Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. And at the end of the match, Dean Ambrose would end up turning heel on Seth Rollins in one of the most shocking heel turns I've ever seen.
Really? That one was the most shocking you'd ever seen? I mean, it was
the most because of the day that it happened. At the beginning of the show, they're comforting their friend who is going through cancer.
Oh, yeah. I took me a second to piece that together, but yes, I mean, but it's one of those things too, and we have kind of seen evidence of booking in WWE where there's a lot of subversion of expectation, and I feel like, it's like constantly as a small example, like the hometown guy losing all the time. In most cases, I should say, but I'll say the majority of cases.
That was a Vince thing.
Yeah, but I will say too, like that to me is very like par for the course for, is it like shocking? Like, I mean, it certainly is like, it makes you go, huh, right? Makes them go, But I could see like, especially all that like Seth Rollins like meant to that group anyways. Like if it had to be on Seth, then that makes more sense in my mind than the other way around, I would say.
But they made the right choice of doing it that night because it was when people would have least expected it, and that's what made it so impactful. Was the follow-up
absolutely
great? Absolutely fucking not. It was terrible.
was that when he became when he became like Chernobyl John Moxley or Chernobyl Dean Ambrose?
And in fucking Milwaukee was the episode where he got a shot in the ass for the ejaculation from all the gross people.
All the filthy Milwaukeeans. Yeah. Come on, we got to do it better, folks.
But speaking of Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, AEW Wrestledream, he was the main event. It was, where was it from? Let me take a look. St. Louis, Missouri at the Chaifetes Arena. I think that's how it looks like 6,000 people attended. We had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 matches on the card. When we covered it, there were only 6. So thanks, Tony Khan.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
We had 4 pre-show matches, which is about 3 too many. The opening pre-show match was an 8-man tag. The Death Riders, Claudio Daniel Garcia, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta defeated Roderick Strong and the Conglomeration, Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Tomohiro Ishii in about 15 minutes. I don't think we need to go over much on that. I would assume it was a good match, but it happened.
Sure. I mean, I'll just say I think it's a good thing that they're trying to like resurge the Death Riders a little bit with the addition of Daniel Garcia. I think this will be good for the group as a whole. I'd be curious to see how Daniel continues to grow in his role within the group going forward. And we'll talk more about the group as a whole or certain members of the group in a bit.
In the second pre-show match, Eddie Kingston and Hook, which is a very cool pairing. I like that pairing a lot. Defeated the Frat House, Cole Carter, and Griff Garrison. 3 minutes. It happened.
Sure. Sure did.
The 2 nicest and most wonderful people alive, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale, defeated Top Gods, Megan Bain, and Penelope Ford. I didn't know that was their name. 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's brand new to me too. I don't know how I feel about it, but I know how I feel about Megan and Penelope, and I feel like they are going to be strong contenders, very, very strong contenders for the new AEW women's tag titles, as will Harley and Willow, I'm sure. So this is a good precursor to the division as a whole, I feel.
And shout out to our friends at Warrior Wrestling at their first show, Resurrection. The main event's going to be involving Willow. So
yes, sir.
Shout out to Steve, as always. We appreciate you, man. If we can make it to Chicago, we'll be there for sure.
Absolutely.
And then for in the final pre-show match that actually went into the main show, if I saw that correctly.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
Come on. They got to be better. You guys are a multi-billion-dollar company. This is
Lord.
I understand starting the show high octane like that is pretty cool, but it also kind of looks a little shitty.
Dude, somebody dusted off a playbook from the Turner headquarters. The Nitro part must have scratched off or something, but that was totally a WCW flashback, bro. If I've ever seen one in this day and age, like that was just hokey. In my mind, it was hokey as shit, but I mean, somebody must have liked it, right?
It's for the sickos. FTR defeated Jet Speed, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. 13 minutes. I'm sure it was a good match. Those 2 teams are both fucking incredible. FTR is, in my opinion, a top 3 tag team of all time. And
definitely,
Jet Speed is just a fun team to watch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully you're going to get quality. So.
Right.
And then in the actual pay-per-view opener, Jamie Hayter defeated Tekla in a singles match where everyone was banned from ringside. 15 minutes, 35 seconds. It looked like it was a good match. Seemed like there was some miscommunication with a thing in the ring with a pin attempt or a submission attempt where Jamie's foot was supposed to be under the rope and it didn't really look like it was. But I mean, I think this is probably the right winner. I would like to see Tekla get some shine in the main event scene because I think she's fucking phenomenal. Like she is genuinely so damn good. And Jamie is Jamie. She should get another shot at the world title as well because her run got cut off and it was very unfair to her. And
exactly.
That she's finally getting some pay-per-view shine. She's getting week-to-week shine. This, I guess, had the most women's matches in AEW history, which is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got a really good women's division.
They have a deep, deep women's division. It's probably the second best besides NXT. And if they can keep going and keep showing these people, build up the mid card, build up the world title scene, we should be in for some fun. What do you think of the match?
I thought it delivered. I thought it was. I wish it could have gone a little bit more. I mean, like I thought on paper, it's a great match because you have Jamie Hayter, who is kind of the up and coming heir apparent to the work that Britt Baker started a couple of years ago, right, and developing the AEW women's division. And Jamie Hayter looked like she was going to be like the A1 of the women's division up until she got injured. And then, she comes back and it's kind of like a little bit of a bumpy start, but I think we're finally starting to see her really get into her stride again to where we can seriously talk about her being a contender for the AEW Women's World Championship. And Tekla, I mean, she's developing kind of the chemistry with Julia Hart with Sky Blue. And I feel like she's definitely going to get her time. She, like you said, is one of the top women's wrestlers in the world. Like when you have the nomer of what did they call her? Like one of the best, if not the best, female gaijin to come out of Japan of all time. That's saying a lot. And
especially when you have people like Amazing Kong, not Awesome Kong. She was Amazing Kong in Japan. You have people like, Stephanie Vicaire, who is not as gaijin equivalent, but like it's very much like if you're put into that echelon, you're doing something right.
Absolutely. Well, and she's got so much. I mean, she's like in her early 30s too. So like, I think it's showing in pro wrestling nowadays that, and I read an article about this saying that you have a lot of champions nowadays where they're in their mid 30s, men and female, like, or male and female, and you don't really see too many champions. In fact, it's probably more uncommon to see a champion under 30 in most cases nowadays than it is to see a champion over 30. So, I mean, Tekla is very, very good. She's got a lot of time to kind of build her craft in AEW. And in spite of the fact that she may not be like entirely complete from a character point of view, I still feel like she's going to be hanging around the main event scene. She's going to be button heads with your Tony Storms, with your Jamie Hayters, with your, hell, even your Mercedes Monets even. Right. I think she's definitely got a bright future in AEW. And I think this isn't the last time we see the both of these two wrestle against each other.
Right. Next match in a $500,000 tag team match where the winners receive $500,000 cash prize. I'm sure Donny loved that. Jurassic Express, Jungle Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus defeated the Young Bucks. 21 minutes. Okay,
Lord.
I get why people don't like the Young Bucks, but when they deliver, there's nobody like them. And this is no exception. Jack Perry and Luchasaurus still have their chemistry. And I think this is probably the wrong winners. I really like the Young Bucks characters right now, where they're no longer EVPs. They don't have the money. They get a bunch of random songs as their entrance. If they win these matches, they get their pyro and their entrance theme. So I get why Jurassic Express won. It was their first real tag team match back as a unit, but it would have made more sense for the Young Bucks to win, and it would have probably extended this story a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like maybe they want to kind of expand on where like Jungle Jack Perry, I feel like he's one of those guys that you can't really trust with Luchasaurus and to kind of continue to build on this momentum, I guess, for lack of a better, like I think Jack is going to turn on Luchasaurus at some point in the near future. I don't think that this is something that we can expect to last a while.
I disagree because they're trying to build Jack back up into good graces with people, and this is currently the only way that that's going to happen. If they turn him heel, it's going to undo all the good work they've done so far. They have to keep it going for a while.
Are they trying to rebuild the Acclaim too? Or am I misreading things?
They kind of are. It's more of like they're put together unwillingly.
One of those deals.
Yeah.
And then they come together and then they hug it out. Like,
I mean, they're very much
all the other great
stage, but give it time. And I'm fine with that. I love the Acclaimed. Everybody loves the Acclaimed, technically.
Yeah, that's what they say in their song.
But I would have preferred Anthony Bones to get an extended singles run. Like he in my eyes should be the one to probably dethrone Fletcher in the near future.
Yeah, I'd say that's solid. I'd say that's a solid choice.
In the next match, in 13.5 minutes, the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP defeated the Demand of Ricochet, Bishop Kaun, and Toleona in a Tornado Trios match to determine the number one contender to the Trios Championship. Yeah, I'm sure it was fine. They hurt people. I mean, what more can you really say about a Hurt Syndicate match? Shelton Benjamin does not age and does shit that does not make sense for his age.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right on that. Glad they got their get back on the fellas over with Ricochet and Khan and the other big guy. Why is his name? That's the one. Thank you. I'm sorry, brother. It's been a long day. I've been spacey, but no, they got their win back, and I'm excited to see the Ops and the Hurt Syndicate. I think that'll be a great match. I'm up for a little extra Bobby Lashley Samoa Joe encounter.
I guess we'll talk about it in a little bit, but are the Hurt Syndicate faces? They haven't been faces their entire run. Are they faces now? Like what are we doing? The Demand are clearly heels, but Hurt Syndicate hasn't shown anything that they're faces. They're still fucking assholes.
Yeah, but just because you're a fucking asshole doesn't mean people won't like you. Right. But they're facing the Ops too, and the Ops kind of got that cool factor on top. And I mean, it's hard to root against Samoa Joe in a broader prospect, right? Or Shibata.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, but there's no clear faces right now.
Right.
Speaking of assholes who are cool, Kyle Fletcher defeated Mark Briscoe to retain his TNT championship. 24.5 minutes. That's way too fucking long for a mid-card title. I understand Kyle Fletcher is probably the most exciting young prospect in the game right now. Like bar none.
Arguably, yeah.
And Mark Briscoe is Mark Briscoe, but this did not need to go 25 fucking minutes. It's something that could have went 10 to 12 and you would have got the same result. We've been pretty adamant that they need to shorten these shows, and this wasn't a midday show. This was something that happened at night.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just making people tired and extending the show for no reason. Half of these matches probably didn't even need to be on the card. So
right. Well, and the TNT Championship is a TV title, anyways, right? Like it's meant to abide by. One, it's meant to abide by time limit, right? So I feel like 20 minutes is the standard for a TV title match in general, but then you incorporate it onto a pay-per-view where, I mean, granted, it's Kyle Fletcher, right? And he is, again, the hood ornament of the Don Callis family. But they could have saved this for like a good main event for an episode of like Dynamite or hell, even Collision if they wanted to draw somebody to that. But I mean, yeah.
This could have stayed on the card, but they should have cut it in half. Simple as that.
I mean, right. Mark Briscoe's not a marathon man. I don't think anyone will mistake him as such. But I mean, if it makes him look all right in defeat, and if Kyle Fletcher comes out with another defense on his belt, But I hear what you're saying, Pierce. I am with Donny on that one. If I had to pay that money to go to All Out or another AEW show, and we're dragging on till like the early AM with some of these matches that they got on the card going 25 minutes a pop or more. It's like, yeah, we need to start calling a meeting here, and we need to figure this shit out.
And it's even worse for the people that are going to, the media junket that it's after the show. They're there till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. possibly. So it's just not fair. Shorten the shows just a bit, Tony, please.
Just a smidgen.
Speaking of Tony, Chris Statlander defeated Timeless Tony Storm by pinfall. 16.5 minutes.
Thank God.
Had a fucking hilarious moment with Tony Storm just telling her to fucking kill me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where Timeless goes. I know you and Donny are not huge fans, but I think the character is fucking great. It's not, people are pushing it to the hyperbole of greatest characters of all time. It's not that. It's one of the greatest characters of the 2020s. You can make that argument.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see what happens next. They could keep her timeless. But I think maybe it's time to evolve the character. I don't think you go back to the rock star.
No.
But maybe go into like the golden age of cinema and make her like 60s, 70s, push it to that to color television, something like that. And show a difference. Add to the character. Not saying that Tony Storm doesn't need to add anything to the character. Character's fucking great, but push it and evolve it. Do like the Undertaker. Undertaker was getting pretty tired of being the dead man. He became the American Badass.
Soup bones.
And then when the American Badass ran its course, he went back to the dead man, but it was more of a dead man hybrid. And he kept evolving that character for what, 15 more years?
Thereabout. Yeah. I mean, you know, I agree with you. Like, I mean, I'm surprised that they didn't go that route when Tony lost to Mariah May. I'm surprised they didn't show more evolution of her character. I mean, there's like teensy bits and pieces. They put a red coat on her.
With her becoming Tony Storm, playing original Tony Storm, which when it started, you guys were like, this is kind of stupid. But then when she lifted the veil, so to speak, it was fucking incredible.
It's me, Mariah. It was me all along, Mariah.
More or less it was. But it was done better than that because,
well, a little bit,
unlike that, it actually made fucking sense.
Yes, it did.
Oh, Vince, you're telling me that you told the Undertaker to steal your daughter to impregnate her? You know what?
Yeah.
Now that I say it out loud, that
yeah, it puts a taste in your mouth, doesn't it? It's you know, with Tony Storm, I want to see. I feel like even if this is the end of the timeless character, which I hope it's not, then it's had a good run, right? Like, I mean, it's clearly a hallmark in the AEW women's division. It's a hallmark in women's wrestling.
It's 2 years. Huh? It's a 2-year run with a character.
And that's not bad at all. Like, if you can keep a character consistently interesting and relevant for that length of time without any real significant signs of slowing, then I feel like you've done a good service in that regard. I feel like you're doing your job right. That being said, I feel like now that Tony has effectively lost the title, lost in the defense, and now Chris Statlander is, for now, the AEW Women's Champion with, you know, some others hot on her heels, right, who have multiple
we'll
other championships.
What's planned for her with this next match.
But right, it's just I'm glad for Chris. I'm glad she's got this spotlight. I'm glad Tony put her over the way she did. And I would be very interested to see what comes of Tony's development and what she decides to pursue.
And we know what's next for Stat Daddy, because Mercedes Moné defeated Mina Shirakawa in a winner-takes-all match for the AEW TBS and the interim ROH World's Television Championship. This was an open challenge, and they made it a title-for-title match. Mercedes now, after the weekend now, too, she has 12 belts. I know you dislike that, but the thing
is inaccurate.
It's 12 belts and 10 championships.
Minus, well, you could probably count 3 because you have, right, the Queen of Southside. You can nix that shit. There's one other one that I've never heard of, but I read about, and I'm just agreeing with it at this point.
The Owen Hart
and of course the Owen
championship.
It is not.
And this is an interim championship, so you could probably nix that. But
it's a half a championship.
And it's an ROH championship, which means
waiting for it.
It's there you go. ROH championship, dude.
I'm not trying to puff it up to be anything more than it is. I acknowledge that. It's an interim ROH championship.
This looked like it was a fun match, but the thing is with these is that there was a promoter for the Winnipeg promotion that she was at that said he picked her up. She was there on her own dime. People were crying to see her. She made time for everybody. Like her or not, she is a draw, and people love her, and she gets a lot of unnecessary hate. And I mean, I hate her fucking finisher, but that's because it 95% of the time looks like shit.
Yeah.
But it's very much like Mercedes gets a lot of flack that she does not deserve. And I think we got to look at her. And she's not, is she one of the greatest in the world? Absolutely. When in between those ropes, it's very hard for me to say a bad match she's had.
Yeah, no, I'm not discrediting at all her ability. It's interesting when you have someone who like Tony Khan will like, and I'm surprised she's not like NJPW or IWGP Women's Champion because I feel like she was already looking at that too. I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, when you're, I feel like she's the type who could just go up to Tony and say, I want XYZ. And then when you have things that happen that kind of benefit her and benefit people she's affiliated with, i.e., a certain uh, beast named Mortos, when you're inserted into matches and you have this extra clout that kind of follows,
It's no disrespect to Mortos. Those matches he's put in, he fucking bangs.
No, he's great. I love Beast Mortos. My concern is now like there's going to be this additional like clout or this additional accomplishment that he's getting with the fact that he's affiliated, dating Mercedes Moné. And he's
hearsay too. We don't know what happens behind the scenes.
Oh, I could see Mercedes with her prestige coming in already being like a 5 or 6 time WWE Women's Champion, being one of the 4 horsewomen, being a huge commodity. It's one of the biggest gets in AEW history, really, if not the biggest get.
Easily.
So if Mercedes Moné wants to go around and say she's the best by collecting all these belts and wants to be the Ultimo, and I see Tony easily just going up to all these promoters of all these different promotions and being like, hey, little extra funding, little extra gold for your coffers if you let Mercedes just stack this belt on top of this belt on top of this belt. I don't know, man.
I don't want to agree with that because it's a little JD from New Yorkish. Fucking knob.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's weird. For me, it's weird because it's with the exception of like the Rev Pro Women's Championship, the CMLL Women's Championship. Like a lot of these belts are
small indies, but her appearances for small indies is fucking huge. You can't discredit that.
Oh, right. That has its own merit. Absolutely.
Sellouts. But
yeah, I mean, it certainly does have its own merit.
But it's also like there's a lot of positive to what she's doing.
Sure. I guess like let's just not say we're on the level of Ultimo Drago with this kind of shit, just because it's like physically a belt that you can hold in your hand. And I don't know. That's just me being biased. I love me some Ultimo Dragon.
I know.
I love me some Ultimo. Yeah. I could not compare it to Ultimo Dragon in that regard. And that's why
here it's been announced that it's going to be Mercedes versus Chris, winner takes all. And we're not going to talk about that show. Yeah, winner take not all, but the team.
She's going to get 13 belts just thrown on her. Woo! Man, that'd be something.
She's probably got the best chemistry in the company with Chris, so we're expected to have a banger. But
yeah,
we'll talk about that match when it happens. I know you probably have some feelings for it, but I think that's probably the only way they can go right now. There's nobody.
I mean, yeah,
main event scene besides maybe Jamie Hayter that can talk about getting a crack at it.
Right. Well, I mean, when you look at the fact that it took Tony Storm how much to beat Mercedes Moné, and now since then Mercedes has gained at least 2 or 3, maybe even 4 more championships, and now she's looking at the top prize in AEW, now having eclipsed Jade Cargill for being the longest reigning TBS championship. So there's that accolade on top of everything else.
But I don't want to go too far into this match because I do want to go on with talk about Halloween Havoc.
Sure. I'm just saying, like, yeah, Mercedes does make the most sense.
Was Chris Statlander.
Yeah, There's
So
your lore.
we got to take that into consideration.
Yep, there's your lore.
27.5 fucking minutes. Brodito is still the world tag title champions, defeating the Callis family of Okada and Takeshita. No turn here. Looked like it was a hell of a match. The Macarena was involved, which is just fun. Way too fucking long. But I think we're creeping towards that turn because Okada hit Takeshita with a Rainmaker, and he did not look like he cared that much.
Yeah, by accident.
Went well. Yeah, way too fucking long, but right winners.
Not the winners I was expecting, but I mean, with the way that it went down with Okada taking the pin, and when you consider how Okada probably kind of feels next to a guy like Takeshita, who is kind of taking the thunder in the Porto scene, right? Like people were saying the same things about Okada about the things they're saying about Takeshita now, right? Like, I mean, Takeshita, I feel like in ring probably edges Okada out. If I'm being perfectly honest, like
it's hard to say right now, sure, but overall, it's hard to say because Takeshita is only 30.
he's 30, yeah.
Okada has a 5-match series that nobody on the planet can touch.
He had some really good dance partners too, but then he also had some not great dance partners. And it's not like you could always guarantee that he was going to have a terrific match with those dudes either. You know, like
no, he had to feud with Evil. So
yes, he did. He had to get pinned by Evil in a couple instances too. Yeah, but
when you're facing Evil, it's a pretty uphill battle. But I get what you're saying, and it makes sense. But the seeds are planted, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, I mean, if it had to be anyone to get pinned, it likely would have been, you know, mid card champ Okada at this juncture, and now Okada's got something to prove. He's got to stake his worth.
I very much wish the mid card championship he holds was held in higher regard, because the international championship, for all intents and purposes, was a fucking world championship, and it combined with the continental championship and just kept the continental championship rules. Fuck the continental championship rules.
Oh yeah, I fuck the continental championship in general.
And I mean, have the unified championship be a second world title.
I don't know, man. Like the unified championship in general to me is just kind of like if. I mean, I liked what they were doing at the international championship when it was more of a feature, and I was kind of somewhat in agreement with you in the fact that like when you consider like guys like Nakamura back in the day held the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, and that's main eventing Wrestle Kingdom ahead of the World Championship.
International title main evented a few pay-per-views. Like
right, that's what I'm saying.
It was built up, and I know Donny did not like the reign, but Orange Cassidy was a fucking incredible international champion. Built that title to where it was, and then you have fucking Kenny Omega, you have Will Ospreay, Takeshita, you know, all these insane names making it and putting it on the same level, if not a bit above for a little bit, because of the Moxley reign of the world title. So
yeah,
it sucks, but good job, Brodito. You guys are a fun team.
You have to hang on for another pay-per-view. And they are fun.
Hangman Adam Page successfully defended his AEW World Championship by defeating Samoa Joe. I don't have my button. I know you guys disagreed with me, but was it not big meaty men slapping meat?
Samoa's big. The Joe from Samoa is big.
Hangman may not be that big, but he does do big meaty men stuff. You know what I mean?
He slaps the meat. And when he wants to, he can do some pretty meaty shit. I will give him that. I will concede.
This was an epitome of that match, but this isn't. I mean, we expected this outcome, but what happened after the match, I don't think we expected. The Ops turned heel.
Yeah, I mean, given their personalities, I mean, Joe makes a fucking fantastic heel. Besides, Powerhouse Hobbs has shown like he's had some potential, but it was never really fully actualized. ironically enough, with Don Callis, I believe.
I think there's one person that we got to watch for this, and that's Katsuyori Shibata. We're going to see fucking, maybe not to the effect of, headbutting Okada and causing his career to stop for 5 years, Shibata, but which, if you haven't seen that clip, check it out because you can hear the fucking headbutt.
It's a thud.
Gnarly.
God.
But it's very much like, oh, this is going to be fun. And keep this going for another pay-per-view. I'm fine with that. Maybe do the trios match and Samoa Joe getting another crack at Full Gear. Have him work double duty because we don't know how much longer he's going to go.
Right.
I think we're in for a fun run with the Ops.
Yeah. I mean, if they give Joe a little bit of leeway and they want to put some shine on the trios division, particularly the trios championships, and if this is what Joe wants to do, then like I'm all fucking for it. Like, again, I've said Joe is he's a stalwart heel. He is so fucking great in that role. And I think when you take his personality and his aura and you stack him with Shibata, who's similar but yet very different, and then you take both them guys and then you try and shine Hobbs up in that whole thing, because Hobbs, I feel like, is a guy who AEW can look at within the next 5 years as being like a top level talent, main eventer, world heavyweight championship contender. Do I see him being champion? There's a couple tweaks, but I feel like that's what you got guys like Joe and Shibata for. Guys who are both effectively in the twilight of their careers, stalwart badasses who can definitely give a guy like Powerhouse Hobbs a little bit more credibility when he eventually launches himself up into the stratosphere there. So
if you don't look at Hobbs and see money, you're just fucking wrong. And shout out to Hobbs. Legit, such a nice dude. Me and him had a fucking moment at WrestleCon. He introduced himself to you very nicely.
Yeah, he's good shit.
He made a point to say goodbye to us when he left and like walk up and say, "Hey, thanks again. Good to see you guys." He's just a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good egg.
Now let's talk about the main event. Darby Allin defeated Jon Moxley in an I Quit match. This was fucking gross.
Did you expect anything else?
No.
Was there anything else you expected?
The fingernail spot was fucking disgusting. Jon Moxley tried to drown Darby
in a fish tank.
Old man Sting. Fucking awesome. I don't know why he didn't go silver hair for the last run. That look is so fucking cool.
Oh, it's prime, dude. It's so prime.
So
it's a shame he's done.
I know they kind of got cut for time, and that's why it
go figure
ended so quickly. But I don't mind that ending. Like, genuinely, I think it's fine, because the one thing we know about Jon Moxley in the 2 matches he had with Hangman, in a match where you got to quit or die, when he's put into that corner, he's going to quit pretty quickly.
It is a pretty consistent character trait for him, I've noticed. Now that you mention that, it does kind of stand to reason.
It's very much like he puts up a front, but he's really a bitch.
I mean, he's got that WWE in him. I don't know.
Like, this is it's a gross, disgusting capstone, but it's also a perfect capstone of this story.
I mean, and I don't think we would have expected Darby Allin to lose 2 in a row. In an I Quit match, there's a lot of wiggle room to play, right? And Darby was going to take this shit to the limit. Like, there was nothing that was going to be holding him back. There's nothing that was going to be, preventing him from just going all out and doing whatever he needed to do, to including, we didn't get Sherpas, unfortunately.
No llama.
No llamas, no ice picks, no Eskimos. But we just got Old Man Sting, man.
Old Man Sting and Darby getting launched into the fucking stratosphere by Claudio. God damn, that looked gnarly.
Yeah. I mean, and again, too, you can't expect anything less from Claudio. If that's Claudio's spot nowadays, is to just show up for Mox and to just take these dudes and just absolutely manhandle them, I'm fine if he never ends up becoming... Oh, I shouldn't say that. I'm not fine if he never becomes AEW champion. I'm a big fucking Claudio mark. Let that be known. He's not going to be ROH champ no more. Huh?
Everybody is, besides, I guess, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I don't know how it is. You got a guy and you showcase him every other week, and you have him scoop the Big Show over a top rope to win a battle royal.
But he doesn't have it.
Yeah, can't win even the Intercontinental Championship, which I'm still pissed at that. I would have said if there was anyone who's going to be Honky's record besides Gunther, should have been Cesaro. Absolutely. He was the guy for that role. But no use crying over Swiss cheese, right? Isn't that the saying?
Yeah,
or am I mistaken?
So.
We'll just go with it. It's dairy.
What are you rating this?
I wish I would have gotten Donny here for this one because I feel like he would have chimed in with like 4.
I was thinking to say 3.
You would have figured Donny would have been a 3, eh?
I'm giving it a 6. I mean, it's did well for its storylines. A lot of the matches could have been put on Dynamite or Collision, but it still did good, and it put some. It ended Darby and the Death Riders, and in a probably the perfect way. So I think for what it's worth, I think a 6 is, and I mean it's an AEW pay-per-view. You're in for quality matches, like
right,
guaranteed. So 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd go with 5. I don't think Darby and Mox are necessarily done because they got both one on each other, right? Unless you want to count Darby interfering on behalf of Hangman as something, but
because it's an I Quit match.
I mean, I don't know what else they can do.
Unless it's like a Taipei death match or a fucking, what is it?
Buried alive or some shit.
And I think that's a Taipei death match where they tape up the hands with glue tape, put their hands in glass buckets, and then
oh yeah. Or they could have done that this match.
Or like a no ropes barbed wire match. Like they can't they shouldn't exceed what they did. They shouldn't.
They shouldn't. I agree with you. But I mean, it furthers the story of, Darby and the Death Riders. It put over Chris Statlander as the new face of the women's division in AEW. That might be a bold statement. We'll see how that goes. But clearly they're putting their eggs in the basket there. They're putting their eggs in the basket, we'll say. The Bucks lost. I'm fine with it. Yeah, all in all, Mercedes winning another belt is kind of, I'm salty about it, but it's what it is, and it's a 5. It's a 5.
Which
we'll go with,
they've been on a pretty, since All In, it's been a pretty mid run, unfortunately, but is what it is.
Sure.
We'll shift ahead. We'll do this quick. Halloween Havoc is this weekend. I believe it's taking place in Las Vegas. Or nope, it's Prescott Valley, Arizona. I knew it was somewhere in the desert. They kept saying the desert, so that's why. Maybe I'm thinking of our buddy Najee because he's moving to Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Moving on up.
And for those who don't know, when this is going out, I will be on NXT with Najee talking about this pay-per-view. I'm very excited to join him. Najee has become one of my good friends in the creator space and just in general. So I'm very excited. And I will do the Ope-Eh 3-way proud. So
hell yeah. Be tuning in, good bud.
JC Jane is defending her title against Tatum Paxley. We're gonna do this quick. Who you got?
Oh man. Fuck. I want to say Tate.
I'm going JC. I think I picked against her every single time, and she's
super. Yeah, she's getting past the expectations there.
I think she's becoming one of my favorite women's champions in NXT history, just because her character has evolved so much, and she has put in the work, and this is a deserving long reign.
They definitely see something in her, so we'll see how it goes. But I mean, it wouldn't be mad at Tatum either.
As announced last night on NXT, Dark State will now be facing the Broken Hardys, not Woken like he was in WWE. He's broken.
Wonderful.
And Broken Matt Hardy in a Broken Rules match. I kind of wish
Broken Rules
bullshit match because the only people that do it well are the Hardys.
Yes.
Just give me a deletion match against these guys. But broken rules, it's just anything goes. I think it makes sense if Darkseid won the titles back, but I'm going to go with the Hardys.
Yeah, I feel like the Hardys are going to be kind of on their own farewell tour here pretty soon as well. Not like the Hardys ever needed the NXT Tag Team Championships, honestly. But it's kind of them putting their finger back in the pond over in the WWE side. They're not like main roster. I mean, they're clearly signed with TNA, right? So that's kind of painted them into a corner in this regard. But it lets the WWE universe, if we can continue to say that, it reminds them of like who they are and what they were to tag team wrestling. And I think it's for lack of the tag teams, and we're starting to see some tag teams coming back into NXT, like OTM just came back. Yeah. So I feel like they're a good, and I feel like we said this about potentially the Motor City Machine Guns too. If they got their NXT run, how they would kind of be like the measuring stick to which all the other teams are compared. I feel like the Hardys do that very well, both for NXT and for TNA. So I feel like whoever beats the Hardys will effectively be made, and then they can kind of stoke a bit of growth. And I don't want to say revival, that might be a bit of a strong word, but when you consider what the NXT tag team division was compared to what it is now, I feel like having the Hardys in this position definitely gives it a lot of extra attention, and it motivates people to want to kind of vie for those titles. Dark State, what do they do if they're not tag champs though, too? You know what I mean? Like they just got those belts.
We gotta go quick, man. I don't mean to...
No.
What you got?
Man, I want to say the Hardys, reluctantly.
Okay. In a Day of the Dead match, which I think is just another no rules match, Ethan Page is defending against not Dr. Wagner Jr., as fucking NXT keeps saying. That's not his name. That's his dad's name. It's El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. If anything, it's Dr. Wagner III or the grandson of Dr. Wagner. Anyway, Ethan Page is not losing this title.
No, I don't see that at all. He will continue his reign as the greatest North American
and greatest Canadian. Shout out to Donny.
Yes.
Javon Evans and Leon Slater announced last night in a tag team match against podcast favorite Mr. Iguana and La Parca. I don't see the Bouncy Boys losing this, but I'm all for it because Mr. Iguana's in it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Where the fuck has this guy been? I mean, besides Alianzas or wherever he was on in AAA. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of him. Right. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of him.
Man.
But, well, I mean, when you consider how high WWE was on him and, talks of even putting him on the fucking main roster if they were to snatch him up. That being said, I don't think that he goes over. I think they're going to have a very, very strong showing, especially with guys like Slater and Evans. Like, that's a given. You have arguably two of the most charismatic guys in AAA against two of the most charismatic guys in both WWE and TNA, or rather NXT and TNA, just for their in-ring work alone, and then not factoring in the other stuff. So it's going to be a very fun match, but Bouncy Boys take it.
As announced yesterday, Sol Ruca is unable to defend her title. It was not vacated, but in her place, Zarya will be defending the North American Women's Championship against Blake Monroe. And because of that fact, I think it's even more obvious that Blake is going to win this match.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed not to put a title on Blake Monroe, considering everything. That being said, too, Zarya came in with a lot of steam to NXT, and she winning the championship or defending it, rather, as kind of an interim, shall we say, would, I feel like, depending on how long Sol is gone, build towards an interesting feud. Zarya is very, very talented on her own, too.
She is great, but I think this is what's going to lead to that splinter that's been kind of hinted at. Zarya defending the title in her honor and then losing it. And maybe you get a heel run from Sol Ruca instead of Zarya. I think that would be a more fun route to go.
It'd be very interesting because Sol is very much, in my eyes, like a natural she has some heelish tendencies, but all in all, very much a natural face. So to pit her as especially against Zarya,
She is a
who,
blue eye for sure.
yeah, I just am like, I'd be very interested to see how that dynamic would work. I can't argue against either one being champion, frankly. I would prefer it if I prefer if Zarya was champion, but honestly, given her run, I could see Blake Monroe taking it.
And in the expected main event, Ricky Saints will be defending against Trick Williams for the NXT Championship. This is the biggest star in NXT's history in a long time against somebody who is going to be the biggest star in the near future. And I don't think anybody expected Ricky to win the belt the way he did, but he's not losing it till maybe Stand and Deliver. And
if that,
Ricky is so fucking good. I have been on the Ricky Saints train since the first time I saw him. And yeah, and I love Trick Williams. One of the few Def Rebel bangers, like genuine top 3 theme for me right now. But Ricky Saints by Rochambeau.
Yeah, I feel like it's getting to be time where Trick's gonna just have to end up going to the main roster. He's done literally everything. Multi-time NXT champion, TNA champion, gave them a lot of relevance, gave his reign a good strong send-off at Bound for Glory, which I didn't put out a video to, and I realize this now. But yeah, I got a few choice words for that as well, and you can probably see that coming up in the near future. But as it pertains to this match, I see Ricky taking this hands down. There's, especially after beating Oba in a reign that people thought was probably going to last, forever. Like I said if Ricky wasn't going to beat Oba, like nobody was going to beat Oba till he passed Cole's record. But that being said, now that Ricky's got it, and now that he's going to be facing a guy who doesn't really have much left to do in NXT, this is Ricky's time. He is the guy going forward.
Yeah. Expected to be a great show. I'm excited to cover it with Najee tomorrow. That's all I really got. Brandon, anything else you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame they're not doing it with Shotzi and Gigi this year, but that's why I'm kind of hoping that Tatum can pull out that women's championship win. I hope we have us a great fucking Halloween Havoc. I hope, Donnie, if you're listening, that you come back to us safe and sound for next week's show. And yeah, I got to figure out a Booyah theme yet, but we'll figure that out too. We got some fun stuff coming in November,
Should be some fun stuff in December as well, talking about bringing in some new guests. Ope-Eh 3-Way is to the moon, guys. That's all I got. Brandon, if you're good, I think I'll send us home.
Oh, I'm super bueno.
Well,
hell yeah, bud.
This is your favorite podcast saying, as always, thanks for stopping to the Ope-Eh 3-Way. Have a beer on us, and we will see you next time. Have a great night.